a story of hope, a story of an organization that is committed to the establishment of the credentials of a true Islamic organization.
It is the only religious body, or let me use the word Islamic body, coordinating the Islamic affairs and the Muslims, most especially the students in the university. What I mean, you don't need to be registered to MSS. That is why I say this is a society. You don't need to be registered that you want to be a member of MSSN or you want to be someone participating in the MSSN activities. What I want people to understand is, as long as you are a Muslim, automatically you are a member of MSSN. And from the other perspective, I want people to understand that MSSN is not only a society for only preaching, for only calling people to Allah's path, even though the major assignment on MSSN is dawah. Dawah activity is the most important aspect of MSSN. But what I want my brothers to understand when we are talking about dawah and when we are talking about participation in MSSN, to me, from the perspective of looking at it, to the best of my knowledge, a Muslim has no reason to detach himself from Islamic affairs. Neither he is supposed to engage himself fully. Why? Because the main purpose why he was being created from the inception was to come and serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
MSS as a general body is an association which actually are there to protect the interest of Islam and the Muslim students and of course the Muslim personnel in general in ABU.
What I want people to understand, MSSN has nothing to do with differences in culture and whatever. The brotherhood in Islam is the strongest brotherhood we have ever known before. So in MSS, nothing like this is an Igbo, this is a Yoruba, this is an Ebira, this is a Hausa, or the association is mainly for this and that. No. MSSN is for all Muslims. And that Muslim may be from the Hausa, that Muslim may be from the Yoruba, that Muslim may be from the Igbo, that Muslim may be from the Ebira. As far as he is a Muslim, MSSN is his home.
Now, one striking feature of the MSSN this year was that it was able to bring together students of different views, opinions, and galvanize them under one body in order to advance the interest of fellow students on campus. And I think it's something really commendable for us to move ahead as a society. That's how things are supposed to be done.
All of MSS, I will give them 100%. The reason why I'm saying I'm giving them 100%, especially the present ESCO, is that they are really playing the role they are supposed to play. One, uplifting the morals of the students in the university, also inculcating the values of morality and how they will live and be useful to themselves and then to the society in general. The MSS have been playing that role.
The MSSN ABU struggle, just as every other student's leadership struggle, is just a struggle solely, or should be assumed as a struggle, to solely find the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And of course, we are beyond no doubt, no any student association have lived to the fulfillment of this goal.
I started MSSN in secondary school, junior secondary school, down to senior secondary school, and other tertiary institutions that we are able to attend before coming to the university. So, but in the university, in Ahmadu Bello University here, when my first year in Ahmadu Bello University, I wasn't among the executives of MSSN, even though I'm 100% in support of the MSSN activities. Sometimes I used to advise the MSSN executives, one-on-one, me and them, to try as much as possible to see the betterment of the society. But I started participating as an executive in MSSN in my second year. At that time, I was the Dawah officer of my own department. I served for first session, that is for the second year of the whole session. I was the Dawah officer, and after that, I was given an appointment also for the second time, even though at that time I was able to give an excuse by saying my stay in the university will be on and off. I'll be going for IT, so my deputy took over. So, and again in my third year, when my deputy was taken over, even though I'm still the chairman, the Dawah committee of the department, coordinating mostly the affairs of the Dawah in the department. So I received an appointment later of being the Ali.
I think my contact with MSSN is I can date it back since before my admission into Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, of which I served at my secondary school, being the Amir. Not only that, before my secondary school, I've been into MSSN Zaria Area Council, whereby I serve as an instructor at Savangari Zaria. We do visit some schools. Then when I was admitted to Ahmadu Bello University, the same thing, I was trapped by some of the executives, whereby I started with the post of the editor when I was at 200 level. Then at 300 level, I also served as the Assistant Secretary General of the association. And now, as Allah the Same, I am the Wakil of the faculty.
Starting from my first day on campus, I met wonderful people who have changed my life, people that I can never forget. And one of the motivating factor or motivating society fellowship I found myself was MSS.
From the inception of this administration, there is a program that MSS normally handle at the beginning of each session, even during the Pursuit TME exercise, that is Operation Catch Them Young, and after that, after the admission also, a program with that title, Operation Catch Them Young 2, which will cater issues like orientation, discussion and what have you. So at that time, we were able to carry our Muslim brothers and sisters along together with us, because I could remember we organized a publication, publicizing all over in the country, because we know the diversity and how prestigious and how heterogeneous Ahmadu Bello University is. So we were able to publicize everywhere that most of the Muslim brothers and sisters that will be coming from different states of the country, they should contact us. Inshallah, we have made an arrangement for their accommodation for them, just for the meantime to come and pass their nights with us and go. And after that, we made arrangement for tutorials. Tutors were there to give them orientation on how to write and pass the examination successfully. So that was one of the programs that make us to move the students close to us, because people are calling us, MSSN, have you been given an accommodation of yours in the university that you accommodate people? We said no. This has happened due to the good and strong relationship that I was able to build in this administration between the MSSN and the school management. So that was whatever we raised to the school management, wallahi, they will not go against it.
Because of the role they have been playing, and we have seen it, we are really happy with it. That's why there is no time they will bring any of their programs or permissions and what have you which we will reject. We normally approve it without any hesitation, because we really have confidence in them. We know they will do it the way it's supposed to be, and that's why I don't even hesitate whenever they bring any request, either for a program or for a venue or whatever. I don't delay, because I have full confidence in the MSS, especially the present administration.
MSS is a platform that is so inspiring, and we get to be imparted both academically and Islamically. They are so good at organizing programs. We be there, we listen to them, we get imparted, we get the knowledge. MSS, I can say, is a platform that presents the ABU and also the whole of the Muslim Ummah.
I have seen activities of the MSSN conducted across various spheres, which touches and borders around the development of the student from Ahmadu Bello University, the Muslim student, and generally targeting the aim of having a unified Islamic Ummah that is guided by the principles of Islam, guided by all the principles of Sunnah, and guided truly by the Islamic precepts.
we are here to satisfy the entire goals. To me, the best defining moment is after you have a program being held and you have them so into it, and you have it that after you leave the environment, you have people talk about it. And of course, I'm talking of the none other but the MSSN EBU campus discourse.
My experience is precisely with the campus discourse, where I would like to stress my point. I am very glad to be part of the incubation process of the campus discourse, which has yielded a lot of success, and I am glad that it has been well received by members of the campus. Students all over the university have now come to identify with the campus discourse organized under the auspices of MSSN EBU.
I can say this administration has been blessed by this program titled Campus Discourse. With the theme, Dean Meets Creativity, and the title is First Campus Discourse, just to show to people that this is the beginning. It's a nice initiative, and we hope to be continued by the subsequent administration. And Alhamdulillah, I need to clear one misconception I had about that team, Dean Meets Creativity. Some people were not able to understand the content of that statement. People are thinking, what MSSN, they say they will be guided by Quran and Sunnah. And the Quran and Sunnah are fighting to be introducing things in religion. What we are referring by saying Dean Meets Creativity, you know, the Islam that the Prophet ﷺ did and his companions. At that time, there are so many things that have nothing to do with technology. But this time around, there are so many things in our field of mu'amala that are maslaha to the religion, that we didn't say that they are aspect of ibadah, that if you do this and that, there is a certain reward for this and that. So we are talking about the creativity of the technology, the creativity of the Western education and the processes, not by any way trying to change our religion or keeping our Quranic and Sunnatic teachings aside by introducing a program that will do all those things.
That in a way was MSSN's way of carrying out Islamization of creativity. I mean, trying to bring liberal thought into the fold of the Islamic organization.
Right from the administration of Malam Muhammad Yahya Badi 2015-2016 academic session, where I first happened to be the secretary. Then his dream was, how can an MSSN come up with a new program that is tired of this ceremonial jihad week, is tired of the talimat and whatsoever, that what can we do to make our ummah be involved? Then we talk of, okay, let's say a weekly sensitization program, a program that is continual, where we had thought of, let's say, then at that administration we also started the weekly publications and weekly sensitization. The weekly sensitization, we could not do it on time. We only had to just have a rundown of it, that's during Ramadan, where it lasted about 4 weeks. And in fact, the impression we had, it was just like a sample of what we would need to gather from students, their feedbacks and their request to having it brought back in a revamped edition. Because
right from the inception of this administration, we were able to give a responsibility to have a program that will be inclusive in the university, that will bring people close to MSSN, not only the people that people are calling Ustazai, the brothers with beards and what have you, and the sisters with hijab and niqab. How can we organize a program that even the people that don't used to put the hijab, let them come? Is she not a Muslim? She's a Muslim. And not putting hijab will not make her to be an unbeliever. Do you understand? So by calling them close to the MSSN, one day I'm telling you, she'll put the hijab.
A Muslim sister should cover her body, that she should not leave any part of her body exposed. But the scenario here is that you see a sister with a niqab and hijab, and she'll be claiming to be a Muslim, while the sister that is wearing veil, that they will say that she's not Islamically like sound. And I'll be like, no, so far as she can wear well and there is no part of her body that's showing, that's okay.
Thoughts of people that are Nicobites not being social enough or not interacting well is being taken away.
So after sitting with at the committee level, they were able to propose issues like that for us, and alhamdulillah we sat and we agreed 100% of the proposal, even though there are some advices we give so as to see the betterment of the program. It is indeed a nice program that started with inter-faculty competitions, debates, paper presentations, spelling bee. The main objective is to build the capacity of our students, both Islamically, academically, socially, morally, and what have you.
I will say this with all pride, with due modesty but with all pride, that the campus discourse, among other several activities of MSSN, have been an eye-opener in terms of bringing into the fore, bringing into the discourse of contemporary Islamic discourse the situation of the country, the situation of the Muslims, and so many other things that the Muslims would want to identify with.
The seeds of creativity lies in no one's hands but in Islam. All Muslims are substance of creativity, and we want to use this opportunity to strike a reminder to the Ummah that of course Islam, the message of Al-Islam is not only through the normal mundane way of coming to Masjid and passing our messages. It could be packaged in so many beautiful forms, amongst which is the campus discourse.
Quran gives one the mental sharpness, acuity of understanding and comprehension which are needed for better learning in any circumstances, and that is what the Al-Majidi education provides.
Okay, the major problem I've had with MSS programs is, well, as with all other programs, the issue of time. We don't usually start on time, and it's quite restrictive because you find that they have to hasten up the program, and it kills the enjoyment to a certain extent. But MSS, so far, they've organized a number of good programs, alhamdulillah.
The timing is in favor for women. Sometimes the timing is in the night, and so most women could live outside the school. You don't think a Muslim woman that is really Islamically cultured will get into the school in the night. The program will start going back again during the night.
In the areas they organize their programs, how they schedule it, not minding sometimes whether we are free to attend such programs or not. So they have to improve on such areas also.
The MSS officials, they are very active, but the problem that we have is we, the students, we hardly participate in the program. And like for you, when you are a lead, if you are an MSS official, maybe if you want to treat any program, like the number of people, at times it used to encourage or discourage you. It's just like a lecturer when he say that there will be class. When a lecturer came and when he looked at the number of students, maybe he's expecting to see 100 students, and it happened he saw maybe 40 or 30. That lecturer will be very angry and he will be discouraged. He will be thinking that the students are not serious. This is exactly what is happening.
You can never do without sacrificing your time, your strength, and all that it entails as the elements of leadership. Because there are times someone will come, insult you, or send you horrific text message. Now, this type of text message might hurt your emotion, might hurt your personality. But if you do not have this patience, I don't think you can amass, you can have decorum in all your academics and also things in life.
To talk about the agenda that MSSN sets out to achieve, they are not far, as I said earlier, they are not far from achieving an ideal Islamic society. In our country, where we have a lot of activities going on, a lot of religions, a lot of affiliations, and like a campus like Ahmadu Bello University, where you have students cutting across sections different from their fields of study, differences in terms of ethnicity, religious affiliations, course of study, and so many other things. MSSN is now bridging the gap between all these things, now to identify an Islamic society in which Muslims would come to terms with their creator, would come to terms with the principles of their religion, despite and against all odds and challenges.
And part of the challenges we faced is lack of communication between the MSSN and the students.
Had it been the way MSSN is at present, that was how it was some years back. I believe by now MSSN ABU could have been recognized not only at the local level, not only at the state level, not only at national. I think if I say at the even international level, I will not be guilty of that. So I will encourage them, I will as well advise them that they should keep the flag flying, inshallah.
One thing I like about this present administration, whenever they hear anything, they don't spring into action, they have to verify. And one of the sources where they will verify, they will either come to me as the dean until they verify the source. And the way they are going, I think, is the best, and that will really bring in what is bringing harmony in the university. So that I will employ them to adopt that same formula.
Is when we sit down, look at the past, consider the present, and then consider what will happen in the future, that we are going to progress as a nation and as a community of Muslims. So I want to urge the incoming administration to sit down, give these activities that have taken place so far in the last administration a careful look, so that with the experiences of the past, they can compare the present and now set out to achieve the future.
After laying a footprint on the mountain, it will also serve as a guidance for the incoming or the next administration that will succeed them to also continue. By doing so, inshallah, within a short period of time, we will have a peaceful creativity revolution or whatever, a peaceful revolution, not killing people, jihad or this and that. Do you understand?